Okay, session started. Let me wear my earphones. Yes. So, hey everyone. In this video, we are going to look at what are JavaScript objects. And we are only going to look at basics of JavaScript objects like the properties, the methods. And in the next video, we are going to talk about advanced steps related to JavaScript objects. And when I say advanced steps, it means like prototypical inheritance, what are prototypes, what are the global prototypes, and all that. But in this session, we are only going to look at basics of JavaScript, like what are the basic operations you can do using JavaScript objects. Let's start the session. So let me open my Excel draw and I'll be teaching you. First of all, let me little minimize this thing and let me keep this at very side. Hope it looks good. And let me see if recording is start or not. Started or not. Yes. So recording is happening. Yeah. So first of all, I'll open. Yes. This is a session on JavaScript objects, not on prototype. In the next session, we will talk about what are JavaScript object. Oh, sorry, prototypical inheritance. So this is a basics thing. So let us understand what are basics thing. So when I say JavaScript object, so you must be relating in your mind, you must be imagining your mind that okay, let obj is equal to then curly braces. If you don't know what are JavaScript object, let me first code some sort of thing so that you can kind of relate if you have never worked with JavaScript objects. So let me open my code editor as well. And now I can use online code editors, but it is better to use local code editor. HTML, CSS, JS file. Yes. Let's open it with code at VS Code. Hmm. So what is the basic syntax of a code editor? Sorry, what is the basic syntax of JavaScript objects? So this is something like this. Let obj, I think I should zoom a little bit. Let obj is equals to curly braces, and inside this, whatever we will write, this is called object. And inside this, we can write properties, we can write methods. Oh, what is properties and method? First of all, let's understand what are objects. Objects are nothing, but they are the objects are in JavaScript. Objects are the key value pairs. No, objects are the collection of properties and method. Here we don't understand. Let me tell you. Wait a minute, wait a minute. So I'll keep this thing little side. Yes. So now we are going to understand what are JavaScript objects. So if you have never worked with JavaScript object, let me first tell you what are JavaScript objects. So this is the way we can create object. Just like an array, and inside an array you can put number of elements, but each elements can only have one thing. That is the particular element, and they have their own index. Inside JavaScript objects, you can store both index. You can store key value pairs. So storing key value pairs, we use objects in JavaScript. Now, how they will look in output. First of all, let's see. So this is the way you can create objects. So for example, you have multiple things. For example, you have multiple students in your class and you want to store their data. So you can use JavaScript here. Sorry, you can use objects here. For example, you can have name is equals to Utkarsh, and then you can have age is equals to 18. Now, you cannot do this in array, right? You cannot have an array where name is pointing to Utkarsh and age is pointing to 18. What do you mean by pointing? Let me tell you. If I console log this, console dot log obj, and if I start with on this, let me start this. Yes. And now you can see on the console, I'm getting some sort of object object. This is what I'm saying, JavaScript object. So wait, yes. Now I'm getting a curly braces. Inside that curly braces, you can see the name is little bit gray and the age is little bit gray, but it is coming color. So it is telling that name is pointing to this, age is pointing to this. So this way we can store, if we want to store a particular user information, we can store that particular in an object. So objects are nothing. It is a collection of properties and method. But yeah, still we don't understand what you are saying, properties and method. Wait, right now you just have to understand this thing that we can store key value pairs. So this is you see, this is key and this is value. This is key, this is value. And I can write something like this. Okay, if I want to let's say right now I'm console logging the object, but what if I want only my name? So I can write something like dot, and I can like write something like this, name. So using this, now you see we are not getting entire object, we are only getting name. Why? Because we are saying that go to object and console log this name. Yes. So by this, you can also write AGEH. Now you see we are not getting entire object, we are only getting age. Because why we are writing this here, that console log obj dot age dot age. So this is the way to access an object. Now inside this, you can also have function. But what is the use of function inside an object? Right now we can see that we can write name, age, and if you want a data that have key and value, we can use object. But why we need function inside this? Well, you can use function, and let me tell you what is the use of that function. For example, I want to say function called greet, 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 or yes, greet. And inside this, you can have function see, and here we can say console dot log and hello world, or hello, my name is plus name. Okay, right now you can ignore this particular thing. Why I am writing here this dot name? So okay, if I remove this particular thing is this, now you have already coded many times you have used function. What this function is doing? This function is doing hello, my name is, and here we are writing name, and you can predict the output that it is going to say hello, my name is Utkarsh. But here I have to use this. Now ignore for right now you can ignore this, or you don't ignore this. I'll explain you what is this. Instead of this, you can write something like object obj dot name. Now let's see what this function is doing. This function is doing, this is console logging hello, my name is, and here object dot name. Why we cannot write name? Because when we write name, JavaScript going to look at that have we declared name in global scope? No. Here we have declared name? No. Here we have declared name? No. We have declared name inside this object. So we have to say that console log obj.name, just like here we are doing obj.age. Why we are doing obj.age is present inside this object. So here also, even though we are writing this function inside this object, we still have to write that, hey JavaScript, JavaScript is little bit you can say dumb in this case. So we have to still, even after writing the function inside this object, we have to tell JavaScript this name is present inside this object. And instead of writing this, even though it will work, but you can write here this, but we are not going to use this keyword. Why? Because we don't know what is this keyword. Anyways, now if I console log this obj only, you can see we are just console logging this obj, and this obj have name, age, and greet function. Now, how to call? Not call, but how to invoke function. Don't say call function, say invoke function. How we can invoke function? So to invoke function, we write the name of that function, and then we place braces like this, right? Exactly. So if we want to call that function, we have to call something like this. Uh, just comment it out this, and grwt greet, and like this. So this is the greet function, and we can call, how we call the function, how we invoke the function, we use something structured like this. So this way we can call this function, but this will give error. Let's see what error we're getting. Reference greet is not defined. Sorry, greet is not defined. Why greet is not defined? Because as I told you, just like this, we are telling JavaScript is dumb. So we are telling that this name is present inside this object. Exactly like that, we also have to tell this where this greet is present. This greet is present in this object. Wait, this greet is present inside this object. So we have to write here that obj dot. And whenever you are telling that this greet is present inside this object, or this name is present inside this object, you have to use this dot. This is called dot notation. So you have to, whenever you are accessing something that is inside object, you have to use dot. Either you have to use bracket, but we're not going to look right now what is bracket thing right now. Just look at this particular dot. So now you are telling that there is obj inside that dot by using dot greet, and you're calling that greet. And let's see what happens. Hello, my name is Utkarsh. Why? Because hello, my name is that object dot name, it is accessing name, and after that obj dot greet, and greet is where present, it is present inside the object. By using dot, we are saying that it is present in the object, and we are calling my name is Utkarsh. Now there is another way we can call this function, using not using dot dot. Instead of, we can write something like this, just like an array, and inside that you can call something called greet, and this should be as in a string. Wait. Hmm? Why this is not working? Yes, sorry. So when you, okay, we know what is the first method of, if I want to run this function or if I want to get this name, let me tell you first this thing. For example, if I want to console log name, if I want this name to console log here, what uh, I have something called uh, obj dot name name. Now I'm telling that there is object. Inside that object, there is something called name and console log that. If we'll console log, it is console logging Utkarsh. And what if I don't want to use this dot thing? So I have something called square bracket. So what I can do is I can wrap this name inside the square bracket, and I can remove now this dot, but inside it is written here name, I have to make it a string. So you can do something like this, wrap inside this double quotes. Now you can see it is doing the same as we are doing using dot. But the difference between dot and bracket is, if you are using bracket, whatever property you want to access, you have to pass that property as a string. So for example, if I want to use this function, you not using dot but using bracket, I can write something like obj because it is present in object, and write dot. No, we'll not write dot. We'll uh, put a square bracket, and inside that square bracket, what I have said, I have just said that we have to pass the property we want to access as a string. So we have to use double quotes, and inside it you can write something called greet. Now, if you save, nothing is happening here because you are not invoking this function. That is, you are not calling this function. And I am saying calling, but you always remember that you only have to use invoke. Now, to invoke this function, you have to by you cannot do this like inside, because if you invoke this inside, it will treat this also as a string, and it will try to find out that is there anything like this available? No. So that's why you cannot put this here. Instead, you have to put this outside. Now you see this is actually working. Hello, my name is Utkarsh. Hello, my name is Utkarsh. It is working. So this is the one way you can access the object. This is a uh, way to access properties and method. But now let us understand what is properties and method. So we have already created properties and method. When we have created, let me tell you. So there are two terminologies that are associated with object. First is, let me write it like this: properties. Ignore my writing. Properties. And second is method. So first is properties and second is method. What are these? These are nothing. No, these are something, but you see, these are the key value pairs, but this is function. Key value pairs, function. So whenever you see any key value pair inside an object, always remember this line: inside an object, you call that property. So let's say what I'm doing here. Object.name. I can use dot or I can use bracket, right? You understood this. Now what I'm doing, you see, I'm printing Utkarsh here. That means I am accessing a property that the name of that property is name. Or if I write age, I see that age is printing here. So this is called property, accessing property. So whenever there is a key value pair inside an object, that key value pair has a name. And what is that name? That is called property. So this is name property. This is age property. But what is this? This is called method. Why? Because this is performing some sort of action on this. What is the hello, my name is, and that it is accessing this name. So whenever you see any function inside object, it is called what? It is called method. So if someone asks you what is method, you just have to say function inside object is known as method. Function inside an object is known as method. So let's see. This is method and these are properties. These are method, these are properties. Simple. Just you have to remember this only. Let's see what else it left. So these are the basics of objects. You can create this object. Oh, yes. One thing more left. What is left? So now we know that we have two methods of accessing. So just like I can access this name, this age, and this greet using dot or using bracket. Now, if I want to add more things, let's say I want to add here country. Where I'm living, I live in India. So if I want to add country, I can do something like obj. And first of all, let me console log also. Yes. So right now you can see we have name, we have age, we have a greet function, and I want to add one more thing, that is country. So either I can do something like this, country, sorry, country country is equals to India, and I have to Yes, yes, I have to wrap this India in double quotes because it is a string. It is not something that is a variable. It is a string. That's why I have to wrap this. 18 is a number, but Utkarsh and India is a letter. Sorry, it's a word. And word, what is word known as in JavaScript? It is known as a string. And a string always wrap inside these things. So now you can see we have India. But what if I don't want to add country from here, but from here? So here we have something called OBJ. Now you know that we can access properties and method using dot, and we can also add properties and method using dot. So right now we have age, we have greed, we have name, but we want to create another that is called country. So you can write something like COUNTR by country. See this, what is the syntax? Is equals to INDI India. Now if I control save, control S, you see we have country. If I comment it out, you see there is no India available in this object. But the moment I uncomment this, what it is saying that go to OBJ and see if country is available. No. Then it, sorry. I have to repeat this. I am saying that go to OBJ, then dot country, and now I'm not accessing it. I am writing that equal to. And equal to means I am telling JavaScript, hey dumb JavaScript, you don't have to access the property, but because I have written is equals to, now you have to create a property. So when I write equal to, it means creating a property. And just like I have created this using dot, I can create this same thing using bracket also. So accessing and adding properties are same, just you have this, there's a difference of this equal to. So now I can do same using bracket. How you use bracket? You write like this, then you pass a string inside the COUNTR country is equals to, now you have to write to equal to because you are not accessing it, is equal to India. And India should be also an string. Now, you see, same thing is happening. Country India is being added to this object. So to add or to remove, sorry, to add or access, you can use dot as well as you can use bracket. Now you have to make notes of these things because these things are very basic. If you don't make notes, you will forget. Now let's do one thing. Now, just like I have added, let's not erase it. Now, just like I have added India. Now I want to do one thing. I want to remove this age thing, or I just want to remove this country thing, or let's just remove this name thing. What I can do, I can use something called delete. How you use that? You just write delete what you want to delete. OBJ dot age. Let's say I want to delete age. And if I write this, you see the age has got deleted here. And same, just like you have used dot after writing delete, you can again do same thing. Yes, that's why JavaScript object is very simple. You can use object, you can use bracket here. And what we do when we use square bracket, we pass whatever we want to pass in an string format. So you have to write uh, here also, you have to convert this into a string. Now see, this is working same. There is no age present inside this. Same. I can remove using dot also. Sorry. Let's remove this using dot only. And let's remove the function called greet. Greet. Now you see, we have only name and country. Because why? Because using the bracket, square bracket, we are removing age, and using dot, we are removing greet. So dot is removed by using, greet is removed by using dot, and age is removed by using square bracket. Both are working. So this is where you can delete something. Now let's say if I want to edit. Yes, so let's please make notes of these things. So whatever code I'm writing, I'm deleting this code from this code editor. But what you have to do, you have to stop this video and make notes. Anyways, although, let me tell you, all these things are present on MDN, Mozilla Developer Network. Yeah, sorry, Mozilla Developer Network. What is the full form of MDN? Yes, I think this is the full form. Anyways, we don't know full form yet. But so what if, like, we have seen how we can access using dot bracket, how we can you know delete using dot and bracket notation. Now we want to see how we can update. For example, if I want to use a different name here, so I can use again dot and bracket. Yes. So to update something, we have to write obj. Why? Because it is present in object dot name, and now we are writing something like this. Let's give this different name, Elon Musk. Elon Musk. And now you see the name is got updated. But bhaiya, you said that whenever we write like this syntax, this way, it is going to create new property. No, let me tell you. If dot name exists in this object, it will going to update this. And if dot name doesn't exist in this, it is going to create one property. For example, right now, name is what? Wait, right now name is Utkarsh. So if I write object dot name, it is going to see if name is exist or not. If name exists, it is going to update name from Utkarsh to Elon Musk. But let's say if I write obj dot country is equals to US. Now, right now, there is no such property like country exist in this. Before that, before name was already existing, that's why it was updating the name. But if any property is not present in the object, it will going to create that property. So see, uh, wait, yes. So name was already existing. Name already exists. That's why it updated it from Utkarsh to Elon Musk. And country was not the property initially, so it added country as in property. So just like you create property, you can update the property. The same thing. JavaScript is little bit dumb, but little bit smart also. So it already understand, okay, you want to create property or you want to update property. So if you're writing it again name, if you are just creating the same property again, it will override that property. That is, if name property exists and you're again creating the name property, whatever the new value you will give, it will going to update that old value to the new value. And because we are using dot here, you can also use what? Square bracket. How you can use square bracket? You just have to write something like this, remove dot. You have to pass this as a string. Again, this same for this also, and remove dot. And see, I'm passing everything in as a string. And now you see it is giving the same output. So just make notes of these that what I'm doing here. Let's see what is left. So we have covered accessing, we have covered adding new properties. See, they are using dot. And also I have not told you one thing, that you can also add new function. Let's say let's add new function. So you can write something like obj dot. You can add function also. So let's say let's just add some function. What is this? What this some function will do? Let's create a function like this, and console.log. And also you have to practice a lot on these things, because everything in JavaScript is object. If you haven't heard this, let me tell you, everything in Java, you must have heard this, yeah. That is not possible that you guys are learning JavaScript and you guys have reached to this part and still don't have still you guys haven't heard about this thing. But anyways, if you don't have if nobody have ever told you this thing, let me told you this thing, that everything in JavaScript is object. So if you understand object, you understand JavaScript. And in the next part of this video, you will understand why everything in JavaScript is object. So you can write something like, I am function added after creation of object. Because why? Because we have already created object and we are adding this function afterwards. So now you see the sum function added. And how we have added? We have added this using dot. Same we can go with bracket also. So what you have to do is you have to wrap this inside the square bracket. You have to pass the sum as a string. You have to remove dot. And again, you will see same result. Sum is added to this object. And as I have said, because already there is no sum present in this object, that's why it is creating what? It is creating new function, but sorry, new property. I mean, new method. But what if some would have already present in the object? It would have updated that. So just like greet is already present. So let's do one thing. Let's change this greet function to this sum function. So inside this sum, we will pass greet. So now it will check, oh, greet is already present there. So greet, what greet is doing? Greet is doing, hello, my name is Utkarsh. I mean, my name is whatever the name you have given here. So what it will do is it will going to change greet function to this. I am a function added after creation. Let's see what happens. Control S. Now you see there is greet function, but if I call this greet function, and how we call the function? Obj dot greet, and we invoke this function like this. You see, I am a function added after creation of object. Why? Why we are not logging hello, my name is Utkarsh? Because we are updating the function here. If you're getting a little bit confused, please make notes, because when you write something, I have heard this from someone, that when you write something, you acquire what is called objectivity, because you're able to look at what you have listened, or what you have heard, what you have learned. So when you are able to look at the idea, you acquire what is called objectivity. So by writing the code and writing the comment like, okay, this code do this or this code do this, and explanation of that code, you acquire the objectivity of the code. And you always remember that code. These are some things that you have to memorize. You don't have to memorize coding, but you have to memorize, okay, there is something called dot, there is something called bracket. And when you will go and code in companies, it is definitely going to happen that you will get into errors. Getting into errors is not a big deal, but debugging that error is a skill, and you have to learn that. So right now, I sometimes what happens, I also forget. Okay, we have to use dot like this. Okay, we have to pass whatever inside the square bracket as a string. Sometimes I forget this, but then I get error, and I see that error and I say, oh, I have to pass that as a string. This is how I figure out. So this was a basic lesson on JavaScript object. Tomorrow I'm going to have a session, one-on-one doubt session. So you can join that doubt session for free. And there we will, okay, let me first. And there we will talk about this, whatever I have taught. I'll start teaching this same thing again. And like, if you are not familiar how the one session happen, what I do, I start a Zoom session and I invite other peoples, like whoever want to join, you can join for free. And there I start teaching whatever I have taught in this video. I start teaching same thing again. And in that session, you can stop me in the middle and ask me doubts that, Utkarsh, how this is happening. So this is the video format. Like I record this as a video and I upload this on YouTube. And every every video or after every session, I have one-on-one doubt session. So it's like video, doubt session. Why I do doubt session? So that I can know what you guys are getting or what you guys are not getting, so that I can have idea that, okay, this particular part you guys are stuck in. So I can, in upcoming videos, I can improve the explanation thing. I can improve my explanation. So I can, it is just basically my way of understanding what are the parts of coding that you guys mostly get confused by seeing that. What are the parts that you guys feel difficult? So this is the purpose of that one-on-one session. And yes, that is totally free. You can totally join the session, just like this YouTube video is totally free. That session is also free, but that happens on my own website. So you have to go and create an account on that website, and there you can join the session for free. No money will be asked from you. So yes, thank you for watching this video. Bye.